Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back to some more Warhammer 2 Total War. Today we are back with another free-for-all. If the battle does get kicked off, we will make sure to pause it as shots are coming in from every single side. But yes, we are back with more free-for-all action on the Mortal Empires patch. We went ahead and added in, I believe, 8 new custom maps for free-for-all, which is great to see them supporting it, because it did feel like it kind of got a bit stale on just the normal free maps they gave for free-for-all on launch. So it's good to see that there are some more ones here. As well as that, please let me know in the comments down below what factions you want to see come up against one another in the next video. Just go ahead and write that in the comments, and I'm sure my Discord will see and hopefully pick your favorite faction. But today's battle, we have the dwarves, we have the Empire, we have the lizardmen, and we have the wood elves. So we'll run through the units, kind of just the special units people are bringing. We might miss a few here and there, but just so you guys have a general idea of what each side is bringing. We'll start off with the wood elves on the front line. We have some of the Eternal Guard. You know, I guess it's for some of you guys as well. We haven't seen these units for a long time. We have some of the Eternal Guard. Then behind them we have the Treekin, one of my favorite wood elf units, not only because they look beautiful, but because they are just so tanky and they can really hold the front line. Then we have Durfu, along with a spell singer of the shadows, so we'll get some nice vortex spells, along with more Treekin. We also have some war dancers as well with the Asari spears. And then finally back here for kind of the missile contingent, we do have the Deepwood Scouts and also some of the Wildwood Rangers. We also have some cavalry over here, the Glade Riders. So these guys should also do some good damage, you know, harassing the enemy and then getting the hell out of there. Looking at the Lizardmen army, which is kind of like the most notable one we've seen recently, we have the Saurus Scar Veteran on mount. We also have a Bastillodon. The front line is going to be consisted of these Saurus warriors, who are definitely can pack a punch and kind of stick around. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the dwarfs and the Lizardmen face off against one another, as they are both very like tanky units which do damage over time, rather than these big impactful units. But the nice thing is about the Lizardmen is they have these impactful units with the Croxagors and then also with their Carnosaurs and all that stuff. Then we also have some Temple Guard, as well as some Horned ones, which are going to be great cavalry force. And it does look like these guys are beelining for the Empire forces, which is very interesting, as the Empire do open up onto the dwarfs. So if we look at the Empire, we have the Sunmaker on the front line, one of the strongest pieces of artillery in the game. We also have some Flagellants on kind of be holding up the front line to kind of, you know, absorb that ammunition and stuff. We also have some Sigmar's Sons. Behind them, more gunners, and then we also have some great swords, as well as a Luminarch. We don't really see a Luminarch too often, as well as Cole Franz or Boris Todbringer. My mistake. I'm sure Hobbits has just rolled in his grave right there. Boris Todbringer, not Cole Franz. Then finally, the Dwarven army. We can see we have some Rangers up front that act as kind of more of a harassment force if anyone comes into their way. Then we also have some more Dwarven warriors and Longbeards, along with the warriors of Dragonfire Pass. We have a Peak Gate Guard, and then we also have a nice little artillery set up here with actually an engineer to help buff these guys. So some cannons, some grudge throwers. We also have a flame cannon, as well as some iron drakes and some iron breakers. We also have this iron breaker unit down here, which I feel like it's gone ahead and Vanguard deployed, but I did not realize these Iron Breakers, Regiment of Renown, could even Vanguard deploy, but I guess they can. So let's go ahead and just get this battle started. I'm going to be jumping around the battlefield to see the action, as we do have the Sunmaker coming in, getting some nice hits down on these hammerers, because I think the dwarves have been buffed in the latest patch pretty nicely. So it's going to be good to see how they do fare up against the other factions. We also have some magic shots coming off. I think this Stegodon is shooting his huge crossbow into the side of the Empire, and the Empire are actually falling back, getting ready to meet up against this huge Lizardmen advance which is coming towards them. As we do have this Scar Veteran, or Croc-Gar, sorry, leading the front line. He has all these Croxagors very quickly coming in as well. And again, it does look like Genneku likes to do this. He likes to kind of set up his forces so that he takes on multiple people at once, which I think is a really smart idea in these free-for-alls, because it means you get to attack, you know, double the amount of units. Now, you might not be the last man standing, but I think you definitely can just pick away at some really healthy units and do a lot of damage. As the flame cannon does go in. So he's kind of got his main contingent of forces waiting in the wings for the Lizardmen and the Empire to fight. And then he has more of a defensive artillery build guarding this position right here. Are we going to get a pit of shades going down right here? I imagine we will be. There we go. That's going to be causing havoc onto his artillery. And then the main thing is it's going to stop it from shooting. Oh, it's not going to stop it from shooting. And that's really not doing too much damage. I thought this would be doing a lot more. But you can already see Genneku's artillery is really helping him out in the top right there. He's currently first. He's about to run some of his route some of his Glade Guard who are currently positioned here. I mean, even if the Wood Elves want to break through here and attack, we're going to have to get through 2 units of Iron Breakers, 1 Regiment of Renown, whilst being shot to pieces by these artillery pieces. So it's going to be difficult for the Wood Elves to really make their kind of position known. We do have some of the Glade Riders coming around, and this is a really smart idea by Blue Lotus and his Wood Elves. This is going to allow him to harass the artillery pieces, and if Geniku's not careful, he's going to lose all his artillery. The Dragonback Slayers are coming over. I mean, if I was the archers, I would just run them in. But again, it's not like these guys don't do a lot of damage either. Nice little scythe going through there. It's not like the archer fire doesn't do a lot. These guys probably will go down fairly quickly anyway. Then if we take a look over on this side, we can see that we have the Rangers shooting away and scaring off the Flagellants from the wood. And then we also have the Lizard Men moving up. Oh my god, I'm so happy there's more free-for-all maps, because this is just so epic, watching all these sides fighting. And again, I would love to see a bigger free-for-all, like an 8-player. Imagine an 8-player free-for-all. How insane that would be. It would just be absolutely crazy. Everyone fighting and duking it out. I would love to see that. I really, really would. That would be the best game mode in the world. 8 players all coming together and fighting. We have some magic missiles going off, trying to hit the Jade Wizard, getting him off his mount. The front lines are fighting, but this is going to be the main problem. Even though the Gunners are doing a great job at kind of keeping the main line of Temple Guard at bay, we're about to see Krokgar and his Scar Veteran moving around this right flank. Nicely placed here, though, from the Empire. They have a unit of Demigriffs with halberds ready to answer this, but the Horn ones are going to come in and help them out. And I'm not sure if there's going to be enough Demigriffs here. You already see how much damage they're taking from this Horn 1 cavalry. So it's I don't think they're going to have enough damage, and especially as the rest of the Lizardman army is just pouring in. However, we do have the Dwarfs now turning up right on the left flank, and that's going to be a bad day for the Empire. However, it is allowing the Empire to get a lot of kills as well. But I feel like this is the best possible situation for the Dwarfs, because they're literally attacking everyone, meaning they can acquire the most amount of points. You can already see it right now. Because they've got their missiles shooting the Empire, their infantry will soon be engaging on these guys. Like, this is a really good position for the Empire to be. And at the moment, like you can see, there's a reason why Lotus is down at the moment, because he's currently having to fight a small portion of the Dwarven army. Granted, he's whipping it up and he's killing it, but I feel like a lot of damage has been kicked off here, as we do have another Pit of Shades directly on top of the Iron Breakers. That's a nice one. Again, it's not really doing too much damage. I guess a lot of them have managed to escape. But yeah, we do have the Treekin down here. They are getting set alight, and they are struggling to break through with infantry, but I imagine they will do eventually, especially with the support of the cavalry. But the more blast these guys can do, the better, but they're going to get run down by the Wild Riders with shields. This is a nice engagement. However, I really want to see more about over here as all the sides come together. The poor Empire being completely surrounded, and we do now have the Croxigors and the Carnosaurs coming in the back of the Empire Greatswords, and I assume soon to be hitting the Dwarfs. We'll go off onto cinematic mode. We actually have the Ethereal Runesmith right here. He's helping out against the heavy greatswords of the Empire, and the greatswords are actually being surrounded by the Horn ones coming in. This is not a good place for them to be. However, there's nowhere for them to really run. We also have Krokgar up here, again in the midst of the forces of the Dwarfs. The Luminarch is running away. He's trying to escape, because if he can get to a decent distance and get some good shots in, that would be pretty nice. I imagine all of these Rangers will be focusing down the large units, because I don't think there's a single Slayer unit over here. I think the only Slayer unit is currently situated over with the Wood Elves. As we do have Boris Todbringer down here, fighting the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Yes, that's what they're called, for Regiment of Renown. And Boris is going to be going off after these Rangers. A smart move here, silencing 3 units of Rangers, which have been pretty clumped up. This is a smart move, however, they are soon to be surrounded. You know, if Geniku was a little bit smarter with his deployment here, he could have spread out 3 units and only had 1 engage against Boris, because Boris is pretty tanky. However, it's whether or not Boris can go ahead and stay alive, because a lot of his infantry are now just routing from the field of battle. The greatswords are greatswords, so that's, you know, that's pretty great, if you ask me, and they'll be able to hold the line. But it's whether or not they can just stay on the field with their morale. That's going to be their biggest issue. As you can see, a lot of their morale is breaking on this right flank. As we do have just Croxagors sending these guys flying. The Flagellants aren't going to be doing great. They are unbreakable, which is nice. However, the Croxagors are just so ferocious, swinging their weapon around. And obviously the steam tank is not going to be broken, but I imagine a few couple, like, you know, after 20 minutes of a Croxagor banging on the steam tank is going to be broken. We have more Stegodons coming in the side of the poor dwarfs. Oh my god, the lizardmen must be so big compared to the poor dwarfs. And the fact they don't have any slayers here is going to be horrific. Going to make it so difficult to actually take down these large beings. Because the hammers are good at, you know, destroying the front line. Granted, the longbeards do have charge defense against all. So that's pretty nice. But it's going to be very difficult indeed. And here we go. A nice move there by the Rangers, splitting them up so they're not all being surrounded by one. However, we do have the Luminarch coming in, running through the front line of the Rangers. As well as Boris back here. The Dragons of the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are helping. And we also do have a gunner set up here. However, if I was these gunners, and this is for silver bullets here, this is for silver bullets, I'd be focusing down this Stegodon maybe. Because I think there's a lot of points there to be had. We go over here, we can see that the defenses for the dwarfs have now been gone. And I believe as soon as we see this unit going down right here, as soon as we see this unit of the Iron Breakers go down, we are going to be getting the entire Wood Elf army marching into the side of either the Lizard Men, the Wizard Men. That would be a pretty insane faction, right? The Wizard Men. They'll come right into the side of the Lizard Men and the Dwarf engagement. The Empire doesn't look like they've done enough, really. I don't think they have enough left. So I think the main battle here is going to be against the Lizard Men and the Dwarfs. And there's about 4k, there's about 5k difference. No, we're getting close to 6k difference between the two factions. However, there are still lots of kills to be had, because if the Lizardmen, who do look like they kind of have the advantage in this engagement, if the Lizardmen can clean up the Dwarfs, I think there's a lot of weak elves left for them to kill, for sure. And also, Last Man Standing gets around about 4,000 points. So, you know, if you can close the gap a little bit and then manage to, you know, be Last Man Standing, that's going to really turn the tide. And it also means that Blue Lotus is still in it. If the Wood Elves can get engaged here and get that Last Man Standing and catch up a little bit, you know, kill these huge creatures for the Lizard Men, then they'll definitely catch up in no time. That's the thing. You know, the Lizard Men have a lot of points still left to give. And it's just unfortunate the Dwarves couldn't really take them points because they don't have any Slayers over here. Or any Thunderers. They just have Rangers and Infantry. We do still have the Iron Brow here, the Ethereal Lord, because I'm actually playing as Belagar at the moment, which is the faction that this Dwarven player is picking. So it's good to see the Ethereal people leading out. And this is a smart move right here by the Doomstream, bringing back his Stegodon not to lose it. As this right flank finally, no, they're still pounding on. The steam tank has been destroyed. You can see it by its floating turret, I guess that tells you. And the bloody battle that was held on this hill is just crazy. It was epic. As we have more and more of the Lizard Men marching their way over. The Croxagors are just hanging around, and they're going to come flying in to help support the engagement alongside Krokgar and his Stegodon. And they should eventually take down the Ethereal. Obviously, the Ethereal is pretty tanky. He negates a lot of damage. However, he does go down eventually to magic damage. And, you know, physical resistance is high, but the rest of it is not. So we do actually have a nice little, like, stand right here by the Empire and whatever they have left. The Wood Elves are marching in, though. We're actually going to speed it up just a little bit to allow the Wood Elves to get engaged, because I imagine not much is going to be happening. And are the Dwarfs spent? The Dwarfs are spent, so because of that, you know, there's a real good opportunity for the Doomstream to take this. We have the rest of the Wood Elves coming in now and routing these guys. They're going to be clearing up whatever remains right there. And the Empire, I imagine, are still going to be holding. We have a nice little set of... Oh, there's actually some Rangers over here. They're going to be shooting their Quarrelers through the trees. And I guess they're going to be racking a few more points up. You can see their points still slowly going up. But here's the question. I think if the Doomstream can become the last man standing, he is going to win. However, if the Wood Elves have something to say about that, I think very much that the Dwarfs have this in the bag. And not only that, there's actually a Siege Engineer right here who's picking away at the General for the Wood Elves. Durfu is extremely low, and he's taking fire. 1 or 2 more shots. Whoever kind of secures this kill is going to be huge. That's a lot of points right there. We do have a Croxagores coming in. Oh, that's going to be so deadly. The poor Wood Elves. Oh my god, did you see them Treekin just getting stamped on by Crockgar? Jesus, I thought the Treekin was supposed to be sturdy. Crockgar does not give a flying F whatsoever. We have the War Dancers moving in, and the War Dancers with Asari Spears are anti-large, so that's going to be doing, you know, nice amounts of damage, but maybe not enough. And we have so many elite units coming up here. But I think the Doomstream just is going to have way too much. Yeah, you guys can try and run, but you're not going to escape the might of the Croxagores. You can see them getting disrupted. Crockgar coming in. Magic missiles do hit him by Durfu, but Durfu's about to get slain. I imagine we will see the points for the Lizardmen jump straight up, unless someone else can steal that kill. And there we go. Durfu has been taken down. That is deadly. Cavalry's being fallen back. Is there anything still left? The Dwarfs still have a little bit left. I mean, the Empire still has their Luminarch left as well. This thing can maybe snipe a few generals. Would not be bad. The Dwarfs, again, still have a few more. The Empire have done a great job at kind of sticking around, as we're about to get a good cavalry charge off here with the Wild Riders. But it's really hard to send the Lizardmen flying because they are so dense. They have such a strong formation. And the battle is just going to be devolving into this little pit right here. I mean, the Lizardmen are catching up, and I think they're gonna catch the Dwarfs. The Dwarfs only have a couple thousand more points left. Granted, there's not really a lot left, but if they can gain last man standing, that'd be amazing. As we do, oh my god, we do just have Crockgar and his scarred veteran just running through these guys. Poor Wood Elves. They honestly, the Wood Elves just really don't have the units to hold the front line against this. I mean, they can use Treekin, but you guys saw what happened to the Treekin. We do have a regrowth being popped off on some of these guys as well. And actually a Cold Blood being popped off on these guys. I mean, the Wood Elves are taking out a few more people, but they just don't have enough left. And we do have the Hairy Hobbits. I guess Lotus and Hairy Hobbits are going to be fighting for third place right now, as the Wood Elves are only a couple hundred points behind the you can see the Wood Elves jumping up to third right now. Granted, the forces of the Empire have a few units left, but that's where the challenge is going to be. And whether or not this Luminarch can rack up some kills. I think the Luminarch is out of ammunition now, so it can't really use that effectively. Did Boris escape? Boris did escape, looking for another little engagement. We do have some of the Asari Spear War Dancers fleeing from this Bastillodon. They're just getting thrown apart. I think they're looking to try and kill this Scarred Veteran. Or maybe even trying to kill more of this Empire. Because they can kill the Empire units, that'd be great. You know, that'd secure the Wood Elves third place, which I think the real battle is for. The Lizardmen, however, have so many men still remaining, as well as, you know, really closing in on that gap. They might take over the Dwarfs beforehand. I think the Dwarfs are pretty much completely routed, but apparently they have something left. That's Wood Elves. Yeah, what do the Dwarfs even have left? I honestly do not know. Yeah, what the Dwarfs could possibly have. Yeah, I honestly cannot see what the Dwarfs could even have left. Maybe this? No, that's Empire? Yeah, I honestly don't know. But apparently they have something. We do see Croxagores going in, or wherever Croxagores, there they are. I did see them in the tip of my eye. We do have the Croxagores going in, but it looks like they're doing more damage to their own Temple Guard than they are these Asari War Dancers. The Scarred Veteran is about to rout, though. That'll be some nice points for the Wood Elves. And that is putting them a nice 1,000-odd points beside the Empire. However, the Empire are now coming in with this Luminarch to try and cause some issues. However, it's immediately going to actually break right now. And we are just going to have Colfrans, and we're also going to have this spell caster left as well. The Jade Wizard, sorry. And they're going to be coming down right here. So we're going to speed things up as well as we continue on in this battle. I think a lot of the Wood Elves are going to be coming back from routing as these guys do try and engage. What do the Empire have left as well, out of interest? Because the Empire must have something left for their units to still be... Oh, yes, the Luminarch. What the Wood Elves or the Lizardmen need to do is they need to kill this Luminarch. Once they kill the Luminarch, these horses or these flying units will have to go to ground. Because you can't have flying units if you don't have any land units to stop people from just, you know, abusing it. So honestly, what they really need to do is just kill this Luminarch. Once the Luminarch is down, that's great. And there we go. That's the unit we have left. We have one unit of Peak Gate Guard, the Regiment of Renown. And they're looking for blood. Their begrudges are not over. And maybe the Dwarfs can somehow pull a victory out from nowhere. The Luminarch going in. Come on, just 1 or 2 hits with the Kroxigor hammers, and that Luminarch is dead. But we got a few more coming in. We're going to see it maybe routing. And that should see the forces of the Empire having to be forced to the ground. Yeah, we do still have Boris Todbringer up here. It's routing, but I think because it's still on the field, Boris is still allowed to move up. We are going to see the Hammerers going in here and trying to take care of the Kroxigors. Whose hammer is bigger, the Kroxigors or the Hammerers? Boris is going to join down as well. But the gap has been brought to 2,000 between 4th and 3rd place right now. The Treekin are about to rout as well. However, I don't think the Empire have anywhere near enough to kind of catch them. There we go. The Luminarch is going down. A few more shots going off. It just needs to die, and then the forces of the Empire have to land their units, I believe. I don't think they have anything else left. And there are really not a lot of units left anywhere on the field. The Hammerers are actually breaking the Kroxigors right there. And also the Treekin. Very impressed indeed. But we are going to have Kroq-Gar and the Bastillodon making its way in. And that's going to probably finish off what remains of the Dwarfs. To be fair, though, I'm surprised the Dwarfs managed to stay alive for this long, if I'm honest. I'm also disgusted at how healthy Kroq-Gar is. He's pretty much at full health still, as he's trying to duke it out with Boris and the mage as well. So I think if Boris does go down, that's going to be the end of him, and he is actually routing from the field of battle. The mage is also not going to stand a chance there. So we do have a few more Wood Elf units left remaining. The Wood Elves are trying to duke it out. We do have the Deepwood Scouts, which have a great skilled Wildwood Rangers, duking it out with the Saurus Warriors. Having some cavalry here as well is going to help out. Some nice hammer and anvils. I mean, maybe if the Wood Elves can... I mean, they just don't stand a chance, right? The Dwarfs coming back from routing. Oh my god, units are just staying on the field of battle right now. Again, I don't know how this Jade Wizard is still able to stay in the sky. I can't see any more Empire units which haven't fully routed. Especially with a general going as well. But it does look like the Wood Elves are going to be killing what remains of the Saurus Warriors. However, I'm sure when Kroq-Gar and his boys get over here, they'll be able to finish him off. There isn't really a lot left for either side, though. But I just don't see Kroq-Gar dying. That's the thing. If Kroq-Gar could get killed by any of these units, I would say that the Wood Elves even have a chance of winning this. You know, killing Kroq-Gar and what remains will give him, you know, up to 20,000, then the last man standing. But I just don't see these guys managing to take down this monster of Kroq-Gar. He's just so good opening up the avenue just to slaughter these guys. Even with the Wild Rangers coming in, I just don't see it happening. Even more reinforcements as well. There's just not enough left, I don't think, for the forces of the Wood Elves to even manage to maybe sneak second place. As we are going to see all their units starting to rout now. Then what's even left? We have a few Wood Elf units here. All of Harry Hobbits is gone, so he's lost. He is definitely in 4th place. I don't think Lotus is going to come out on top, or at least come 3rd place. He has a couple units of archers left. I can't believe the Dwarfs as well are still remaining. It's just going to be the Lizardmen moving around. So it does look like the Lizardmen are going to be victorious in this battle. You're just going to see Kroq-Gar coming over, finishing off these brave Hammerers. I mean, you can't fault them. They definitely did stick around, but Kroq-Gar is going to have his way, kill them, and then just turn around to this last brave unit of archers. They have no ammunition left. I think they're just going to try and get any more points as we do see the Dwarfs going out. And the Lizardmen definitely proving their worth. I feel like if the Dwarfs had... There we go. They're routing. The battle is given to the forces of the Lizardmen. I feel like if the Dwarfs had a few more Slayers, they could have dealt with a lot of these large units from the Lizardmen, not allowing them just to rip through their infantry like they did. Because I feel like the Lizardmen, their monsters, just did so much damage to the Dwarven front lines. And same with the Empire as well. Harry Hobbits did a good job with his gunners, but they just couldn't keep the Lizardmen front line at bay whilst also being attacked by the Dwarfs. It just wasn't, you know, it just didn't make sense for them to have that many men to do that. So I think, you know, both sides, when you're coming up with Lizardmen, no matter if you're fighting them, you're next to them, you need to bring a lot of anti-large, because Their Carnosaurs, their Scar Veterans, the Bastiladons, the Stegodons are just so damaging, you need to try and take them out. And we can see that, 133 kills, 200 kills on the Stegodon. The Dwarven army, we can see that their flame cannons, the artillery for the dwarfs doing great. Lotus's army, his Wild Riders getting a nice amount of kills, and then finally Hobbit's army, his Luminarch actually getting 144. You don't see that too often, so that's always good. I always love it when people bring a Luminarch. It's a fun unit to mess around with. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. Also check out Boris Todbringer with his 69 kills. Very, very naughty. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. Make sure to drop a like and a comment if you did, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.